We're live again?
What? That Wednesday came around really fast.
Well, especially this time of the year, right? How's our microphone? We changed the settings on our microphone. Stream quality
has been lowered.
We're going to have to put up a thingamajiggy here, one of those extender things.
Okay.
Honey, I need an extender. What? I'm getting nothing for Christmas.
I don't know. Should I have dressed up as Mrs. Claus or something?
You got a Christmas sweater downstairs.
Well, actually, it's Danica's Christmas
sweater.
It
fits ya.
Maybe.
First, let's say hi to your parents downstairs. Hey, hey, Bon.
Hi.
They're downstairs watching our dogs.
We had a really nice time.
Action-packed.
With the parents. We went to one of the local malls here in Calgary. Had a great time. I got a new battery for my phone, so I don't have to plug it in every 5 minutes.
That's how exciting we are.
You know what? So we're practical, and
I got a quad espresso at Starbucks. And what did you get, Shannon?
I had a caramel macchiato. It's very good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Nice to be here today. You want to say hi to some people?
Tammy C. Hi, John and Shannon.
Hey.
Hi, Tammy. My favorite Christmas album is When My Heart Finds Christmas by Harry Connick Jr.
He does Christmas incredibly well. But you get those jazzer guys a lot of the times. They can swing it anyway. That maybe didn't come out the right way. But anyway, you know what I mean.
Fraser J. Hey, Fraser. Hey, guys.
Fraser.
Hope you're well. It has to be Crazy Frog last Christmas. Ha ha. Neutral 69. Hi, John and Shannon. TDSM 19. Hi, John and Shannon.
Put on our lights.
Tammy C says, other favorite songs, Run, Rudolph, Run by Bryan Adams, Silent Night by Stevie Nicks. I saw Mummy Kissing Santa Claus by John Mellencamp. I also like Last Christmas by George Michael.
She loves George Michael, though. She likes some that goes in both lists. You know that. Remember last year we did a thing, and every December we'll do this. We did a list, and we went on to different lists. And Shannon said after this, she says, "Let's not use the list. Let's just ask folks next Christmas." And I went, "That's fine. That's actually a better idea."
But I do want to say, according to Billboard, Brenda Lee's "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" has topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart.
What happened to Mariah?
First time since it was released in 1958. The holiday classic outperformed familiar chart topper Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," which came in at number 2. But Rockin' was streamed nearly 35 million times between the Friday after Thanksgiving and Thursday, according to Billboard. So that is huge.
And she's still around, and she was just, tickled pink by it. I was in what's the winners version in the U.S.? What do they call it?
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx. So we call it Winners in Canada, and I was in Winners, and they were playing "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and the woman in the next row was like, "Oh my God, not that song again!" I don't mind that song. I play it every night. We're at Move 103 in Vancouver. We've gone Christmas. It's one of my favorite times to be on the air. I love it. I enjoy the Christmas music. I like when we add new music to it. It's nice to hear different version of songs and new versions, new Christmas classics too.
Jazz Xander, I love the crazy jacket. And believe it or not, Jazz, he's actually got matching pants.
Yep. They don't fit me. I can't get them on.
Wait, you can't get them on?
No, I told you. I says, it's the optical illusion of being on YouTube. Of you think, oh look, he's really thin. I am pretty thin, but there's parts of me that don't fit the pants.
So. But the legs still fit the pants.
I can put the legs in. Yeah, you don't want to see any of that. It's not good. That'll ruin your Christmas.
Greg says, hi, guys. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
TDSM says, my favorite is John Bon Jovi's Please Come Home for Christmas. I love the bluesiness of it.
Get a lot of requests for that at Move. And before that, the show that I did was called Christmas at Night, when the station was called QMFM. And before that, I was involved at QM doing sort of smooth jazz Christmas. And then before that, I was doing New Age Christmas at QM and then at CKXM in Edmonton. So I've had a chance to do jazz, New Age. And then, of course, Christmas music is rockers, bluesers, jazzers, liking every genre. Every one of you will listen to different versions of genres of music that otherwise you would never listen to at Christmas, right? How many people listen to Frank Sinatra at Christmas, but would never listen to him otherwise? I mean, I know before you get on me, I know there's a lot of people watching that like Frank Sinatra. But, Percy Faith, and that's considered elevator music to a lot of people. Not to me. I love the I love the singers. I love the orchestration versions of Christmas music.
George Matthew says, my favorite is the Kinks' Father Christmas. Totally hilarious.
How about Jack? What was his name? Jack Johnson. He does Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. His version's really funny. If anybody knows it. Are we backwards? Let me see. Make sure. Are we good? Are we backwards? I can't read my.
I'm looking here, so I think we are.
No. How come we were? I was backwards yesterday.
Oh, we had our 8 albums that were showing back.
Yes, that's because we were on the Canadian channel, and because we changed the Canadian channel and went to the defaults. Because we did a thing on Miles Goodwin. And by the way, there's a Miles Goodwin interview going up on our Canadian channel today from 1988 when Miles was just leaving. He had left April Wine. Does not have good things to say about April Wine. Really thought twice before releasing this because there's 3 clips which are not complimentary of his time in April Wine, even though April Wine was his band. So we're going to release the first one today where he talks about the classic album Stand Back. And we're going to put the entire interview on the Canadian channel, the separate clips as we usually do, just to get this homework out of the way, on Rock History Music, this channel. That's going to come on in about an hour or 2 today.
Greg says he likes the one by Billy Squire.
Oh, yeah. What is that one? Is it I Wish It Was Christmas Every Day? Is that the one he does?
Jeremiah was a Bullfrog. One of my favorite songs is by Paul McCartney, Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That goes on both lists as well. And so does the Elton John. So does, what's the name of the one from George Michael and Wham?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas usually comes on both. Mariah Carey's is always on both lists. What I mean by that, of course, is the best and worst. So they're always, half the people love them. It's polarizing Christmas songs. Half the people love them, half the people don't like them.
Fraser J says, Richard Page from Mr. Mister did an amazing Christmas song called I Always Cry at Christmas. It's amazing. So
Oh, I got to write that down. Big Mr. Mister fan.
I Always Cry at Christmas.
I always cry at Christmas.
Spacey, hey Spacey, good afternoon. The one that Wham recorded, I think it's called Last Christmas. I am with you, Spacey. It's one of my favorites. Hi, Melody. Nice to have you join us. Tim says,
Hi, Melody.
Brian Setzer Orchestra puts on a good Christmas show.
Yes. Never saw it. Saw many, many clips of it. But they go all out. It's strange how certain bands have turned into, Mariah Carey's the best example. Bing Crosby is a great example of an artist that did an awful lot, being on and off the screen. Bing Crosby, oh God, there's so many. Perry Como that have turned into now, even though they did so much more than that, turned into Christmas. Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life. Most of the people in this generation, you'd ask them if they know a Jimmy Stewart thing. This is, of course, a movie. They would say It's a Wonderful Life, even though he did so much more.
Robert, hi Robert. My favorite is Fairy Tale in New York.
Yeah, we just lost him from the Pogues. Yeah.
Tammy C says Bing Crosby and Burl Ives.
Yeah, I like Bing Crosby and David Bowie. Their little drummer boy. That I remember watching TV when that came on. So. Rob
McClure, my Christmas favorites are all of the Bob Rivers Christmas songs, walking around in women's underwear, and Teddy the Red-Nosed Santa or Hoots.
There was a Newfoundlander that we played because the radio station that I used to run, remember the Breeze and then Cal 103, they were owned by Newcap, and Newcap was a big company in Newfoundland. And one day, one of the program directors in Newfoundland, knowing that I was ready to switch our station to All Christmas, and I was a program director in Calgary, sent me this, I still have it downstairs, this Newfoundland comedian doing Christmas songs. It was hilarious. We always got calls. The phones would light up when we'd play them. I gotta look it up.
Derek Kelly, hi Derek. Jingle Bell Rock is one of the worst, not just as Christmas song, but just as a song in general. It's cringeworthy for him.
See, that's the thing. You can't help it if you don't. There's songs that bring joy to so many people, and then you'll get this one song, and you can't help it. People can't say to you, "How can you not like them?" You don't like it. I mean, the thing is, if your body, right? Shannon had told me that when I first met her. She said, "If your body," because we had this rule in radio on our car radio. Shannon said, "How about this? We have different musical tastes in certain areas. How about if one of us doesn't like the song, we change the channel?" And we started going, well, that's okay. Because she'd tell me, "John, I can't help it if I have a visceral reaction to a song. I can't help that. That's That's like nails.
But usually we're pretty good. Like
yeah, we listen to a lot of Well, we have Sirius XM in the car. I'd be listening to my station in Vancouver if I could, but I live in Calgary. The station
I listen to a lot of Coffee House.
Coffee House, yeah, and then Christmas traditions we listen to on
Yes.
Sirius XM. Yeah.
Some of the 50s and 60s songs too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Christopher says, for me, the best Christmas song is probably Vince Guaraldi's version of O Tannenbaum,
Yeah,
and the
Christmas
worst,
Tree.
Wham's Last Christmas. So not
See,
a
there you
fan
go.
of Last Christmas.
There you go. It's
Joseph,
very simplistic. Last Christmas. I mean, a lot of Christmas songs are.
Sorry, Joseph says, I like Greg Lake's I Believe in Father Christmas.
I was just trying to think of that. I was just trying to think of what's the name of that Greg Lake song. We play it every single year. What an amazing song that is. And that has gone on the worst list sometimes, but it's never in the top 10 of the worst list. And it's always usually in the top 25 of the best list. It's strange how some people put certain songs on, well, not the same person puts the same song on this, the worst and best, but other people do.
Jazz says, I like the album December by the Moody Blues. Have you heard it? Justin Hayward always brings it home. I'm from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and I live in Eureka, California. Where are you?
Wow, we're in Calgary.
In Calgary, Alberta.
And the cool thing about, and you never know how this is going to work out. When we started the Rock History, well, first we started the Aircom Radio Network, which was the name of our parent company before. And I started doing videos on there. And I started realizing that 95% of everyone who was watching my videos on Elton John's anniversary edition of new releases by James Taylor, and I did a whole bunch of other things, I started realizing, well, this is cool. Then we started an internet radio station called Rock History Book. And that took off. And 95% of the people who were listening to our station were Americans. And I went, well, this is great. And when I started other channels on YouTube, we started realizing that, well, we're covering mostly music that appeals to Americans and then Canadians as well. And then we started having, we got, I don't know where my memory stick is, all these interviews that were from Canadian artists from the 80s, and we're not going to put those on the channel that mostly goes to an American audience. So we started Rock History Canada for that. So it's a few different channels, but in the long run, I think it's worked out.
Craig Michaud says, there was a comedy, 12 Days of Christmas. I can't remember who did it. Suggestions? Was that Bob? 12 Days? Was that Bob?
Oh, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you mean, and a beer under, and a tree. Under the tree? How does he say?
But yeah, that's funny. Justini, Merry Christmas Baby by The Boss.
Oh, yeah.
Melody R says, The Grinch for the Small Town Titans is good. Chris Smith, hi Chris, the Eagles, please come home for Christmas, my favorite.
Yeah, their version is really good. When I first heard it, I thought they wrote it. I didn't realize it was a much older song. I like, what was the one I was thinking about? There's a Canadian duo or trio that were on Attic Records, and the band was called Carry On, or I think it was Carry On. And it's an all-instrumental new age album. I remember I've got 2 copies of it downstairs. Incredibly moody, beautiful. I was going to say almost Mannheim Steamroller Fresh Air-ish, a little bit like that, but even almost ambient. It's really, really nice.
Let's see here. Janet says, John, the words in your jacket are backwards.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's fix this. Let's fix it. If I can remember how we did it last time. How did we do it? Hold on. DDD. Oh, no, that's not it. God, we did it again.
I think we went into options.
Really? That's. I don't think so. Where?
No.
No, it was one of these. It was one of these. It was either this. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay, you keep reading the things, honey, and I'm gonna see if I can.
Chris says, Grandma got run over by a reindeer is annoying to me.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Yes.
Charles Palermo, I've been listening to Jimmy Barnes' Blue Christmas. It has quickly become one of my favorite Christmas albums.
I haven't listened to Jimmy Barnes in a long time.
I see Truth says Elvis Blue Christmas.
Okay, I'm going to try to figure this out, guys.
Christopher says, and how could you not like the 12 Pains of Christmas, LOL.
The what?
12 Pains of
I
Christmas.
don't even know that.
I don't either.
The 12 Pains of Christmas? How would I get
Robert
this?
says a different Christmas song is Jingle Bells by the Mac Lads.
I don't know. You guys are coming up with some...
Yeah.
After this is finished, we're going to be going in and trying to figure out...
I know Nowhere Man, 1953. I like Last Christmas, but by Jimmy Eat World.
I haven't heard it. I certainly know the band, but...
Rob joins us. Hi, Rob. Def Leppard, We All Need Christmas.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't think it's going to work for you.
I don't think it's going to happen today.
That's okay.
Okay, we're going to have to figure this out some other time. Sorry, we're backwards. Sorry.
David says The Ronettes, Sleigh Ride, 1963.
Oh, yeah, the Ronettes, yeah. Yeah. Phil Spector, baby. I think to me, the Chipmunks just, to me, it's just like painful. Like I can't,
Like Alvin and the Chipmunks when they're doing their...
Yeah.
It's Alvin! I think it was really good for the young demographic. I think.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a novelty song, and Christmas is not without its novelty songs. There are a lot of novelty songs. And there's that whole area with that. First of all, when you start playing, as a programmer, when I was a programmer, one thing we had to be careful is when we switch Christmas, usually after Remembrance Day. We try to keep, because you got to watch your competition. Do you want to release it first? Is your competition going to go all Christmas before you? You can score really big in the ratings or die by playing Christmas music. Luckily, I've never been involved with a station who died. And the first thing you do is you put non-religious type of Christmas music on first, and you save the more holy Christmas songs that we would call them closer to Christmas. I mean, in December you're okay, or the first week of December. But we had all these rules: no novelty songs, as well. If you're switching to Christmas music early, we'd have all these rules. I don't know if those rules still apply. I'm not involved in programming in radio. I'm in radio still, but we had these strict rules of being very careful.
TDSM 19. Oh yeah, and a beer in a tree.
Yeah.
I still have the Great White North on vinyl.
Yeah.
So
yeah. They were great. They used to film in Edmonton, SCTV, when Dave Thomas, Catherine O'Hara, Andrea Martin, John Candy, Rick Moranis, Joe Flaherty. I think I'm forgetting someone. Dave Thomas. They were all there. They used to film at ITV, the Canadian version of ITV, not to be confused with the one in England. But they used to record there, and a few times we tried to see them outside, but we never really tried seriously to see them outside. We knew where ITV was. We knew they filmed there, and then I think they moved to Ontario, or else I know they did a show, and they tried to go national in the U.S. But then, of course, Catherine O'Hara became,
Justine said, "We Are the World."
Oh, yeah, of course.
Blaze Eisner. Hey, Blaze.
Do they know that it's Christmas?
Brother John and Sister Shannon. Merry Christmas. Hey, Blaze.
Hey.
Favorite Christmas song for me is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. It reminds me of my dad, World War II vet. Good seeing you. God bless. Yes, and we're happy to be here now on Wednesdays.
Always.
For those who are new and joining us here, we're so happy to have you on board, but we're just switching off from our usual Friday night live that we've been doing. Trying not as consistent as we'd like
because of our daughter.
So here we are finding that Wednesday seems to be a good fit.
Speaking of Mel Torme, the Christmas song which he co-wrote, I heard this on Christmas Traditions on XM Sirius the other day. Mel Torme singing I don't know what it was. He sang so slow, I swear I was going to fall asleep. And I like Mel Torme, but I remember going, man, I wish I would have written it down. It was such a slow version. It wasn't bad. But man, he put me in a mood, man. I thought I was listening to ambient music, but his version, of course, of the Christmas song is good too.
Spacey says, my own personal favorite is a more obscure one, Run with the Fox by Yes, members Chris Squire and Ellen White.
I don't even know if I know it. I got to write it down.
Run with the Fox.
Okay, listen to that after we're finished.
Jedeminas, hello there. Oh, pronounced Getty. Hi, Getty. Among the worst is Bob Dylan's rendition of Here Comes Santa Claus. Vocal is terrible, but some love it.
I'm going to write that down too. I don't think I know it. I usually know it if someone's programming it.
Bob Dylan's rendition?
Yeah.
Here Comes Santa Claus.
Okay.
That's right, Nowhere Man. Yeah, Bob and Doug McKenzie. That's funny. Renoir, love Jethro Tull, ring out solstice bells.
You know what? Anything Jethro Tull does, I'm usually okay with it. I just put, thanks to Dennis and Bonnie. Thanks, Dennis. I know you're watching this downstairs. They got me two new cartridges for my turntables. They're both Akai's. One's the top of the line Akai, bought in '79, and then for whatever.
It's nice to have them working again.
It's crazy.
Kind of, it's sort
How
of
long
like
have you been sitting?
And if afterthought, well, I'll get around to it. And then
that's exactly it. Yeah.
So you're playing it the other day, and I went, oh, that's good.
They said, what would you like? I said, I don't know. I don't need anything. If I need something, I usually just buy it unless it's too expensive and I can't afford it. And I went, that would be really nice. And Shannon says, I'm on it. Let's order on Amazon right now. So I've been listening to some old Jethro Tull. I bought Minstrel in the Gallery, Passion Play when we lived in New Brunswick not that long ago for a little while. And it's nice to be able to play them. Find out if they're good. You buy an album, you don't know till sometimes you bring it home. It looks good. And then
exactly.
It could be clean and still go.
Keith. Hey guys.
Is our Keith?
Yeah.
Doxford? Oh, Keith. Love you, buddy. You got to come see us next summer.
Justine said that song by Mariah Carey is last on my list.
It is for a lot of people. You know, the fact that I wonder how Mariah Carey, who tried to christen herself the Queen of Christmas, didn't win the trademark.
Keith is asking, where's your cup? You're not spoiling your cup.
Oh, today. It's downstairs.
It's actually been sitting in our kitchen.
Yeah, I want to put it. We're putting some shelving back here, and we're going to switch the autographed albums. Well, not only autographed albums. We're going to put 3 shelves right behind us, so that and every now and then we'll switch it. We're also going to put a green screen. Shannon doesn't know this yet, so this is going to be really nice. I have to put a. There's a closet. This is a closet. Everyone's always saying, "What's that hand up here?" Look at that hand. That's Shannon. Look at. There she is. High school Shannon with the big hair.
Long time ago. Let's just put this
You look beautiful in that.
Thanks.
People, I've done a few interviews. I'm not going to do that anymore. I've done interviews saying, whose hand is that? That's Shanny.
You've really got to try to turn this around. Over here more, right? And there you're going to see the dog crate over there.
That's a lot of hairspray.
Right?
And you know what? That picture is up there because I want it up there. She always says, why do you have that picture? There's also a picture from her modeling days over there. And she doesn't want to put them up. She's, well, at least if you're going to put them up in our bedroom.
So no one can see them.
No, but those are beautiful pictures. And I know what? I look at those pictures every single day. So
we always kind of, this is in our room, of course, but it's in the front of the house and it's very quiet. But we thought about doing, like John said, some shelving up there with some albums on it. But I always laugh because if he's got to go and do some kind of live, on just right off the cuff, some kind of a live video. And then we've got like the dog crate over here in the corner.
The dog crate's there sometimes a lot.
Oh.
Like we were doing the poor Miles Goodwin thing the other day, and for the Canadian channel, I did reactions to Miles Goodwin. Musicians react to Miles Goodwin's death on the Canadian channel because most of the people who had commented at that point, not now, were Canadian, like Streetheart, Ray McGuire of Trooper, Burton Cummings, Randy Bachman, a whole bunch of people reacted to his death, and I went, well, they're all Canadians. I'll put it on the Canadian channel. The dogs are like hanging around, but no one cares. I've done interviews where the dogs. Because Shannon's out, or she's out with her mother, and she's doing stuff, and then
poor Danica on a Friday night, she'd usually have her iPad, and it repeats a lot, so there's so much extra noise going on, and it's too much. She's quite animated, and she has
seizures. We're always wondering if she's going to have a seizure while we're on the air. That's why we're here now.
So it works out. Nowhere a Man, 1953, big hair. I think he's pointing probably at the friend. Yeah, you have no idea how much Joico ice mist and backcombing I did to get the hair that way back in the 80s. I worked hard. It was like
you're
a big
you're gorgeous now, but man, you're gorgeous there too. You just look like a different person. That's the thing. When we're young, I always say if I went to a high school reunion, I wouldn't recognize anybody because no one looks the same. And some people are good at recognizing old faces and seeing the young person in that old face. I'm not. For me, I don't look at all like I did. Obviously, I didn't have this in high school.
But it's true. When I started going to a few of my reunions, the 10-year, 20-year, 20, most people but
you're good at that though.
But there's some where I'd have to go, great to see you.
Yeah, you're looking here.
Because of the name tag, because you really didn't have any idea.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Christopher says, speaking of ambient music, take a listen to Mannheim Steamroll's version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
he interviewed Chip Davis from Mannheim Steamroller, who was the drummer for Convoy with C.W. McCall, by the way. And we talk about that in the interview, which I just found. I just digitized it. But we used to play the Christmas albums. The first one, the Silent Night off the first one. Speaking of ambient, that first version of Silent Night is it's just magical. When I used to play it on the radio, I would get calls. And then the second album came out. We used to call the first one the Black Christmas Tree, and the second one the Blue Album, because that's the colors of the album. I've got those albums autographed downstairs by Chip Davis. And I love Fresh Air stuff. They used to test stereos with Fresh Air stuff. And I'm not sure if I have any vinyl. I don't think I do. I wish I did.
Justine says the duet with David Bowie and Bing.
Yeah. That's almost like a new Christmas song because they're adding those two songs together. It gave you a new flavor of something. What's the name of that Michael Bublé song we heard at Starbucks this morning? I don't know what's that called. I play it on the radio all the time. It sounds like a new song. Dun, 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 dun. You know, that one there. That really gives you a lot. That narrows it down.
Awesome. John at Village Advisory. Hi from Melbourne. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Nice to have you with us.
Thanks for coming.
How
on.
to Make Gravy is an Aussie classic. Much better than Santa Never Made It into
How to Make Gravy? Who sings it?
How to Make Gravy is an Aussie classic.
No one makes gravy like Bon. My mother-in-law, who's watching right now. I'm not just trying to score brownie points, but Shannon's an amazing cook. But, you know, the mother's always on the level. Shannon's mother can...
Tops.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Bon, are you chuckling right now downstairs? You better be.
And even if she's making, like, basic things, it still tastes out of this world.
She make craft dinners, make like a delicacy.
Yes, totally. Terry French, the Eagles, Please Come Home for Christmas is a great X-Mix tune.
Yeah, it really is. Their version is it's not here. It's like almost they play it down here, and it's just smooth. It's just well done, understated. That's the word I'm trying to find.
Robert says We Wish You a Merry Christmas by the Greedies, Thin Lizzy, and the Sex Pistols is really good.
Everyone has their choices.
Getty says Miles Goodwin. He was a New Brunswick native with professional life in Montreal.
Yeah.
John, you are a native Montrealer who lived a great life in New Brunswick.
Yeah. Miles meant a lot to me. That was one. That hit me. You know, I had a chance to meet him. It wasn't a real smooth interview, but it's okay. Like I always say, I never want to lie about it. He was a little grumpy, but then he told me he was, and then he said, well, let's get through it. You know, you seem like you know a lot about the band. And I appreciated that, the fact that I went, this guy doesn't suffer fools. You know, the first question I asked, I remember I misquoted him. I remember thinking it was this way all those years, and he said, no, I didn't say that. But he was nice about it. And, you know, Miles just didn't suffer fools. But it's a week to honor him. I think we should always be honoring Miles Goodwin because he was such an amazing artist. And it didn't change. I mean, it changed my opinion of him a little bit at the beginning. And then I went, you know what? I love this guy. I love him. I wouldn't even say he was having a bad day. I was saying that he was just, I know he didn't want to do the interview. But all in all, you know, he gave me a good interview. Brian Greenway did. Jim Clench, he's gone too. And Jerry Mercer. You know, they all, someone told me Jerry Mercer, their drummer, lives on the Rock, lives in Newfoundland. Is that true? I wonder.
Pookie Martinez, Ramones, Merry Christmas. I don't want to fight.
Oh, God. And you know what? Let's talk about that just for a second. It was not uncommon in a lot of families. Kind of like a couple going to a party. Remember, there was a certain couple we knew. They came to our party, and we could tell they were fighting in the car. Before GPS. I mean, they were out. GPS was out, but not on the phone. You could buy a GPS system.
How many fights we had because
oh my God.
we would get lost.
We'd get lost, and we'd get mad at each other. By the time we got there, we didn't want to be there anymore. And then after a while, someone even noticed or didn't notice because we weren't fighting in front of them. How can you tell this is too tight? I'm doing this.
Hence, can't wear the pants.
Can't wear the pants. So anyway,
had to.
It's kind of like that where Christmas does that to people too. You have families like the old jokes for Thanksgiving, families fighting politically, religiously, and all that stuff, or whatever. They have history. That's enough, right? But Christmas uh, brings that out in a lot of families. I remember my family would have a good row. There'll always be at least once every single Christmas, and the rest of the time we'd be fine. We'd get it out of our systems. My brother and I would fight all the time, and then we didn't. We stopped.
Jazz says John Lennon or Justin Hayward, and So This Is Christmas is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy C says Miles was a huge loss. She's a
Big
huge
loss.
April Wine fan.
Favorite Canadian band. I'll say this till the end of time. I don't think I'll ever find a band that I listen to as much. I mean, I was just listening to Ian Thomas, who wrote a quote for Miles. He knew Miles. And I listen to Canadian music and I go, why didn't this stuff cross over? I don't believe in this other blogger who says the conspiracy against, that's just stupid to get. That's a stupid thing to get hits. There was no conspiracy against April Wine. It's just that sometimes it's management. There's a quote and a clip coming up from Miles Goodwin. I don't want to go off too much here, where he says how you could have been a lady. Their first hit in the U.S. was mismanaged, and they should have taken advantage of it, but the manager did not do the right things. And so sometimes it's the management, the record company, no payola, bad timing. There's only so many Canadian bands they can get in. There's a lot of reasons why things don't cross over from one country to another. Hi.
Christopher says Johnny Mathis's version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas is good.
That's one of the best.
And he's not much of a Jerry Mathis fan.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a good song.
See, there's the example. Thank you for who said that?
That was Christopher.
Christopher, thank you for saying that. That is the biggest thing about Christmas music. We listen to artists and genres that otherwise we would not listen to, which is a great lesson if we really thought about it. If we really thought about that, we'd go, I guess I do like different genres. Well, I only like different genres in December, but if that's the case, you're allowed to do that too,
Getty says Sarah McLachlan does a more beautiful rendition of Song for a Winter's Night than does Gordon Lightfoot, who we lost this year.
Her version is crazy good. Yeah. We met Sarah at what was her Christmas concert? Wasn't it a Christmas concert?
I believe it, yes.
Yeah, we went backstage and hung out with her.
She was so good.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful lady. And what a talent. And that range, she was just on, wasn't she just there with the cellist, if I remember?
Her
and a cellist. What the heck? And of course she plays piano. But
Pookie says Beach Boys, Little Saint Nick.
That goes in both lists. That one always ends up.
Remember that.
Yeah, because I think that's always a jump. There's certain bands I think people are surprised. Like the Ramones is a great example. Sex Pistols is a great example of going, what? They're doing a Christmas song. And even though it's less drastic to think of the Beach Boys doing Christmas songs, or even Elvis to some people, but it somehow worked,
Pookie says, I heard Denny Lane, wife was playing Christmas music for his last 2 weeks of life.
He loved Christmas music. I did. And I was there was a mutual friend with Denny that we were trying to set up an interview. It started about 6 months ago. And it would always be, maybe he can talk. He can't talk. And then there's a part of me that just said, I just kind of want to let that go. I just don't want to bother him. I don't want him. Would hate to interview someone if they're not comfortable or in pain or not there 100% mentally or just don't want to do that anymore. And Danny, I had enough respect for him to, it's so cool that he was like the first vocalist for the Moody Blues before Justin Hayward and John Lodge joined the band, and then become a prog symphonic kind of rock band. Go Now, that was Denny Lane singing that, before he joined Wings in, I think, 71.
Terry says Emerson, Lake and Palmer's I Believe in Father Christmas.
Yeah, we mentioned that one. I don't like to have a year where I don't listen to that a few times for sure.
Bird Dog in 1961. Hello, welcome.
Hey.
I like these. Dean Martin's Let It Snow, Greg Lake, I Believe in Father Christmas, and Williams is the most wonderful time of the year.
Andy Williams, that's his song. I'm not saying he didn't. I doubt if he wrote it, but Andy Williams. There's certain songs. Not Louis Armstrong, Nat King Cole, the Christmas song. To me, that's his. I like Dean Martin's version of Baby It's Cold Outside. To me, that and Michael Bublé's version with Indina Menzel, I think her name is. What was the one you just said?
Oh, it was Greg Lake, Dean Martin, and Williams.
Andy Williams. Yeah, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That big opening. Dun, 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 dun. When you hear that, you're going, that's Andy Williams' version. That's the version, right? Sleigh Ride, Ella Fitzgerald. That's it. To me, that's the quintessential versions. Even though I like The River by Sarah McLachlan, even though, of course, that's a Joni Mitchell song. Everyone, I bet you a lot of people watching have Blue by Joni Mitchell, which I was taken off.
Robert says, a melody of You Could Have Been a Lady is from Why Don't You Quit by Eddie Harris.
I should write that down.
Spacey says, I met Sarah McLachlan in Austin, Texas back in 92, right before she got big. Wow.
Well, You Could Have Been a Lady was written by Hot Chocolate. So if someone took that, Hot Chocolate took, because April Wine did not write You Could Have Been a Lady. That was recorded before by the band Hot Chocolate.
Pookie says, Striper, Winter Wonderland.
Don't know it. Not a big metal fan. Not a big, really hard rock fan. There's also a clip, speaking of Miles, that's coming up. There's a few things that it's not my interview, by the way. Steve Burgess interviewed Miles, and I asked him to ask a few questions. And I was just talking to Steve last night. Steve used to be when I met Shannon, Steve was my best friend. I'd see Steve like every day. People would go, you guys are really close. Yeah, we're friends. Okay.
Samantha.
I'm talking, honey.
Samantha joined on here, does.
Hey, Samantha.
Yeah, and does Jose
Feliciano. Samantha, are you off for the are you off for the holidays? Are you friends with Samantha?
I am on Facebook.
Yeah, she's a sweet girl. I mean, you know what? When people ask me, and we were talking about this last night, when people ask me about do young people like classic rock, or they have, I always quote Samantha, and there's like about 15, 20 other people who come on almost all the time. They come on, and they're young. And I'm going, yeah, they're interested in it. Why wouldn't? And, our son's going out there and he's starting to date a lot more, and he's meeting women who like older music. Shannon always says, what kind of music does she like? Well,
I don't know. I feel like you can tell a lot by what kind of music you
like. Sometimes. Yeah.
Fraser says, Christmas Time Is Here, a Charlie Brown Christmas by Vince Guaraldi will always be my favorite at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Dave Wheelhauer. Hey, Dave. Wham! Last Christmas. That's right up there.
You're getting a lot of votes.
For a Dog 1961. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Frank Sinatra. You said that.
Yeah. Oh, Frank. It's amazing how well he sold. I mean, obviously the biggest selling is Do They Know It's Christmas and White Christmas, and what is it, Jingle Bell Rock this year with Brenda Lee. They've done incredibly well. How are we doing here? Okay, good.
Samantha says she's off for a month.
Good for you, Samantha.
Nice. Enjoy the holidays. Tammy C says there's no place for home for the holidays by the Carpenters.
Oh my God. And Merry Christmas, Darling. Remember their version?
Yes.
When I met Janet, she was telling me about all the Christmas music she likes, because we're both, that was one of the things. She didn't have to be Christmas crazy, but it didn't hurt that she was. And we'd bug each other about certain Christmas songs that we liked and didn't like.
And I still love to decorate at Christmas. I grew up.
Do we have a picture of the Christmas tree?
I grew up with so much Christmas decorating and memories at my house.
We got a super chat.
Toro Porco. Hi. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to Canada's loveliest YouTube music couple. Aren't you kind? Thank you so much.
Somehow I think this side of the room makes it more beautiful. What? You've been playing footsies with me the entire time.
Because I've got my legs crossed and I just keep moving my leg over.
She's got it. Playing footsies.
Sorry.
That's what's going on at the table.
I even have like my runners on.
And she's like going like this on my leg. And I'm like, oh, thanks, honey.
I grew up very festive at Christmas time. So.
When I went to her house for the first time, and her mother's watching this Bon, I'd go, man, I thought we would like Christmas. And you'd walk in there, I'm ready I really thought that Bonnie's husband might have been Santa Claus coming around the corner.
I tell you, right? Hey, Dad?
But instead, here comes this big fit guy, Dennis. I'm going, no, he ain't no Santa. That's a good thing. He's a good role model for me. He's always been this amazing shoot. Cycled across the country how old was he?
Oh, I want to say he was...
Tour to Canada.
I want to say 60. Was it 63?
4 or 5?
63,
Was it?
64, or maybe it would have been 62.
Yeah, like cycled across the country. Like what the heck? I couldn't get across the city. I'd be winded and have to sleep for 3
I've
days.
seen you on a bike. You've done pretty good.
Across Canada?
Well, maybe not across. No.
No.
Douglas.
I bought a bike and I used it 3 times
Douglas
this summer.
Struthers, Step Into Christmas by Elton John still sounds great.
Well, Step Into Christmas by Elton John has all the things Elton John hits, the soaring vocals, right? The great piano, everything that an Elton John hit doesn't hit like an Elton John hit. Doesn't strike that chord as well, but all those Elton John isms are in that particular song, and I think that's why it stood the test of time. When I bought that, and I don't know if I bought that in Wonderful Christmas Time around the same time, but I think the 45 sleeve was green from Wonderful Christmas Time, if I remember.
MS, Rick Emmett, The Spirit of Christmas. The entire CD is the best Christmas music ever.
I don't think I've heard it. Wait a minute. I must have. I wonder what year it was released. If it was released after 2000, when the breeze stopped, 2007, right? Yeah, 2002.
2008.
2008. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If it was then, I would have heard it. If not, I maybe not.
Douglas says, "Ho ho ho." Who'd be a turkey at Christmas is insane. Entertaining, at least.
Yeah. I wasn't. I can't say that I'd be. Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah, that's true. Elton. Yeah.
Gary. Hi, Gary. Gary says, Santa, bring me Ringo. He inspired me to play drums.
Oh, Ringo inspired a lot of people to play drums. We were just, Shanny. It's so weird. I'll go downstairs and I'll turn up the Christmas channel on Stingray. We have Stingray in Canada. I don't know if you have it in the US. And I'll just put on, now the remote controls, right? You can just press on.
Yeah, voice.
Stingray holiday music, because they don't call it Christmas music. I don't care. That argument, I don't care. If you want to call it holiday music, it doesn't matter. Whatever gets you through the night. So she'll put it up, and then sometimes I'm working, I'll put it down. I'll put it down, she'll put it up. I'm going, we really, really like Christmas in this house. We really we used to decorate the tree on your birthday.
But I'm not
November 18th.
But I'm not one of those that will keep the Christmas tree up till January.
That's
February.
where we differ.
That's I'm after Boxing Day, I'm ready to bring it down.
No.
Yes, I have it up early.
January 5th.
I have it up middle of November.
January 5.
After Remembrance Day.
I love you.
But then
you're a good woman.
It comes down.
You're great.
That's right.
No.
Pack it all.
Oh my God.
Enough Hallmark shows. Enough
no, yeah, I don't watch Hallmark any other time of the year. And then there's some Hallmark shows, and I'll go, no, I can't. There are too many cutesy parts in it. The part where they're playing around, they're throwing fake snow at each other. I always fast forward that because we don't watch it live. Right? I'm going, no, stop. Okay, I gotta clip, Miles. I'm gonna go down and have something to eat. Just want to give you my day.
Let me put this on my list for you. Yeah. What the heck? Thank you so much for being here with us. It's always so much fun to have you join us. It's nice to have all the new people that we see coming up, some of our old favorites that are here with us.
Shannon wanted to do an 80s channel, and I've been trying to get her to do it for a long time, and I'm going, you're so stuck in, you love the 80s.
I do.
So what we're going to do is, we're not sure what it's going to look like yet, but she just wants to play around with it.
But I won't be sporting the 80s hair. Sorry to disappoint.
There it is. There it is.
Okay, enough of that.
You look wonderful. You look so beautiful. Always, every era. We all have different eras. And again, the only reason that picture is here is because I want to hear. See the look she was giving me there? See that look?
I was waiting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's strange. We were talking this morning as to who runs the house. Ultimately, who's the boss? Yeah, right. Oh my God. I don't even handle the money. You handle the money because I trust you. Anyway, that's the way it goes. You got to have one. To the dogs, though, I'm the boss. I'm the alpha. Outside of that, outside of two little poochies, Shanny runs a real tight ship.
That's a lot because we love those poochies.
We do. Okay, what are both dogs again before we leave? What are they? One's a what?
A cockapoo and one's an Australian.
But what is that?
Oh. 3/4 poodle, a quarter cocker spaniel, and then half Australian mini shepherd and half King Charles Cavalier.
Yeah, we wanted to adopt a dog at the pound, but because of Danica and how unstable she is with dogs,
it's tough.
We couldn't have, like, sometimes she's really friendly to the dog, and other times she's not at all. So
but
she's
kind of indifferent, but we just weren't sure of how the dog.
You've got to know where the dog's been.
Yes.
We have to be careful because we're always encouraging people. Oh yeah, adopt if you can. And, I don't. So with Dee Dee, as we call her, and she'll be home at 3:00 anyway. Thank you everyone for contributing.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
And there's actually about 4 or 5 that I'm going to have to look up now because I've never heard of them. So
I think there's more for me. I think there was a lot. Look at.
yeah.
I got my. I should have been a doctor the way I scroll things. There you go. Anyway.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Take good care of yourself, and thanks for. If you want to make a donation to the channel, you can anytime. Not on this video, but most of our videos have a PayPal a link, or you can join our Patreon, get early access to our videos. We put a lot of Miles Goodwin on our Patreon this morning.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.